Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
I know a couple of people who see him as a villain. I know a couple of people who see him as a hero.
You need to leave.
Life without him, there's no grace, there's no truth, there's no hope for me and you. He's a straight arrow. He will enable you to step into the water, step out in the pavement of the back until tomorrow. No worries, even though you may fear. When you don't know where to go, you lose your way. Just know that he is near.
Everyone get on your knees right now. What are you guys doing out here? Huh? Anyone? What are you doing? Stop that. What are you doing?
The sound that saves.
Welcome back. A couple good old Christian boys here with you.
There's nothing that can make Christian music better than rap rock.
It's just it's a genre made for Jesus.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's why he had that sweet
well,
name.
isn't the Bible just rhymes?
Yeah, the Bible flows like rap verses. I mean, if you read it like I read it, at least.
It's Sermon on the Mount. Jesus was spitting fire. He was
That's
just
right.
Like,
oh man, those bars that Job hits. Whoo! Which one's Job? He's the one who gets hurt a lot. Yeah. Like people made
Old Testament. We're talking about the New Testament.
Oh,
We're talking
yeah.
about our Lord and Savior Jesus
New
Christ.
Testies, as I call it.
Because it's Easter time. It's Kick Ash Wednesday right now as you're listening.
Everybody, I know what you thought you heard. I thought I heard it too, but of course, Brother Murray didn't say a swear. He just
I
said
Kick,
Ash.
Kick Ash Wednesday.
Ash Wednesday.
Because it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
And you're listening.
Everyone's
Because you want to
day.
save your soul. And that's why we're here. Because this week we're Christian. Right?
Right.
Okay.
We're good Christian boys. I just said it.
Yeah.
Brother Murray.
Brothers and sisters, we're here to save your soul.
And it needs saving.
With the help of our man and possibly new misunderstood genius.
Okay, no, I don't think we can paint him with that brush. I think we're here to help him a little bit.
Joshua Wesley, German YouTube pastor. The most shocking thing I learned from this movie is that Germans have souls. I never thought they had souls. And now I'm like, they're like us, kind of.
Kind of, yeah. They have faces like us. They have hands like us.
Yeah.
And I've been there. I've seen it myself. They eat hot dogs just like us.
Frankfurters, they call them.
Frankfurters, yeah.
The birth of the hot dog from Frankfurt.
Exactly.
But Joshua Wesley, nothing weird about this guy. I tried to do a little research on the guy. The only thing I found out about this guy is that his wife now, who appears in this movie as a character, Layla. Okay, let's put it this way. He was 24 when he met her when she was 14. She was part of his congregation.
Mm-hmm.
And he did the honest thing. He groomed her for 4 years, waited until she was 18.
That's the honest thing to do.
And he's so unself-aware, he shouted out to the world to see, like, finally, 18th birthday. I'm going to post the picture up on our Twitter. You've probably seen it by now. You're listening on Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's the cringiest thing I've ever seen. Nothing weird about it.
Nothing weird.
That he's 28 now, married to an 18-year-old that he's known since he was 14.
Where was it? We just had a state that made sure to make it legal to marry even younger. So, I mean, they're just doing what Christian. He's just doing what good Christians do.
He's guiding her spiritually.
You need to meet your girl. This is good Christian boy Griff talking here. You need to meet your future wife when she is between the ages of 11 and 15.
That's when they're the most impressionable.
Exactly, because you
most open to Jesus, I should say.
Murray, of course, that's what you meant by impressionable.
Yeah,
you wouldn't.
right, yeah.
We wouldn't mince words here.
No.
So that's the age you have to meet them. And then, I mean, they use this ugly word, groom. All you're doing is making sure they accept enough Jesus into the light. It's like when you give a plant enough sunlight, so the chlorophyll.
Isn't that a
takes
pastor's
over.
job? It's to groom his flock.
She is literally his sheep, and he is just shepherding her.
Right.
And nothing weird is happening.
Nothing at all weird about it.
Nothing. They have promise
Totally
rings.
normal. Totally normal.
Totally normal. So this totally normal guy, he's totally cool. He's always wearing the old dad glasses, which is really funny to me. If I know you haven't watched The Righteous Gemstones, but the one character who's the youth pastor, trying to be hip and cool, always wore those glasses, and it gave me a chuckle.
I'm always leery about men that want to hang out with children. I mean, I don't know, Griff. I'm like my dad. I have no interest in children.
Okay.
But I think I get one or two reasons why a guy I think would want to hang out with kids. One, it's like a Great Santini situation where he's like a loser in life and he's going to relive his life through a kid by like, you're going to be the perfect me 'cause I failed.
Yeah.
So I'm going to push you to be what I wanted to be,
Right.
which is like gym teachers and trainers and that kind of shit. And then you get pedophiles like our boy Josh, basically. I don't know. I'm sure there are some decent people that want to guide children, but I'm always leery of those people.
Always leery.
Yeah.
Well, Murray, this I gotta say, our friend Josh here needs a little bit of help with this movie. He should have came to us, but it was COVID time, and we didn't get his DVD on time.
Right.
Because that's
this
how
movie's hot off the presses. Like, this came out in January in America.
It did, yeah.
So,
we're doing a modern movie.
Yeah, which we only do that when it's an important movie.
Yeah, and this is
And
definitely
it's got
an important
something
movie.
to say.
It's got a lot to say.
I mean, did I just tell you, Abra sent me a link. Thanks to us, there are Ukrainians tagging Wolverines on Russian tanks now.
You're welcome.
Exactly. So it wasn't in vain. We actually made a difference.
Just got to look out for that was it Daniel who turned his back on them? I don't know. But if there's anybody who's like the governor's son in your Wolverine group, kick him out now. He's going to turn you in.
Right.
Cuz that's what they always do. All those senator sons, governors' kids, that's what they do.
So obviously we're influential is what we're trying to say. And we're trying to take Josh to the next level.
Right, because he says that's his bag, is that he's so good at preaching and he's not
Yes.
so good at communicating one-on-one. And
Right.
we've seen this movie. No, preaching is not your forte. Directing is not your forte.
You have no charisma, no.
He directed his own. Wait, did you already put out there that he wrote, directed?
No, I didn't. He wrote, directed, he produced with his brother. They're like a team. They're called the Wesley Brothers.
Yeah.
He's the other one.
Look out, Wachowskis.
Yeah, other one. I don't know his name, but he's more in the background. He wrote, produced, starred, special effects supervised.
For the one special
that's in his
effect.
IMDb.
For the one special effect.
Yeah, we got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere.
So yeah, he's a hexagonal threat.
Right, and maybe you put a little too much, cross too many irons in the fire or something. I don't know the saying here, but you spread yourself thin. That one works because all your talents were no longer focused on just your sermons. They were spread too far.
Well, he only had $10,000 to make this movie.
And you saw every single dime on that.
You
screen.
did. I'll give it up to him. It looked good for 10. Come on, for a $10,000 movie, it looked good.
I mean, his apartment had a fog machine in it.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, only person we know who has that is Lycanthrope Chris.
Exactly. Okay. So one of the problems we have to talk about with Josh's writing is clearly this was first draft out the door. He L. Ron Hubbard.
I don't think he wrote anything. I think he just came up with scenarios, and we'll show that because we're going to do a dramatic reenactment in this movie.
Well, there has to be.
Yeah.
And you're going to think...
and I'm sorry, I'd hate to say it, it was not Wings Hauser level.
No, it's far from it, unfortunately. No. But it does...
But we cut him some slack because, remember, they're German. Most of the characters or actors in this movie are German. Obviously, English is their second language. Right. So we'll cut them a little slack in their acting. The couple Americans have no excuse. They suck.
Yeah, and in the digital world... You think they would have been able to do a couple shots of some of these conversations they're having, the dialogues and everything? Because it sounds like us when we're really struggling.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
And we're
when we half-ass it, where we got an idea for a bit, but we're like, we'll just do it, ad-lib it, and then it's I know everyone who's listens to every one of our episodes is like nodding their head right now.
Yep.
Yeah, we've been there. We fast forward through that shit, and we don't blame you.
Yeah, we don't blame you at all.
Yeah.
Fast forward through that shit. We encourage you. Yes. So if we're watching Josh's movie together, we're fast forwarding through almost all the movie.
Yeah,
because
it's
lot
90 minutes though. I appreciate that.
90 minutes felt like 4 hours because of all the horrible dialogue. There's zero. Okay. They promise us some big things at the beginning of this movie. I mean...
it's the apocalypse.
Yeah, the virus changed the world, which we've seen that. Okay, so we're living that right now. And then they say communism is all over the place.
Yeah.
We don't get to see this in any shape or form. Because most of this movie is them wandering in the woods.
And their interpretation of communism is just an oppressive police state.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no other way they could have portrayed that. A global state has developed, which is a very specific kind of conspiracy theory. So I'm glad he got into that. I don't see how that developed either. Because as we know, they were able to spread their word very easily. I mean...
Well, if you have a hacker on your side...
But they sent out fucking DVD... Oh, excuse me. Oh, jeez. Excuse me. I said the flub word.
What's that?
The flub word. I swore. Oh. We're good Christian boys. We don't swear.
Oh, well, I'm sure that'll happen.
And then, of course, meetings are illegal. When did they ever outlaw? Like, I mean, I know they suggested like stay in your own homes and everything, but meetings weren't illegal,
weren't they?
Weren't they? Traveling, of course, illegal. And then finally, and this one I guess does come to fruition. Christianity's illegal.
Yeah, just Christianity. You can still be a Muslim or a Jew.
Yep.
But you can't be a Christian. I mean, come on, we know that. We live in America. We know Christianity's under, duress. It's like people want to shut it down.
I hear Joe Biden talk every day, and he's always just like, I'm going to get these Christians. I'm going to wrangle them up. That's what I'm sending Kamala Harris out to do. She's going to go get the Christians for me. I hear it every day. And then pedophile Pelosi, she's out there doing it too. She's a dirty woman, that pedophile.
Follow
Pelosi.
the money is all I'm going to say.
Follow the money.
So, Josh, it's his first movie. I hope it's one of many. The movie's left open at the end.
Yeah.
There might be a sequel. There definitely will be after we've talked about it.
Right.
We're star makers.
Let's compare him to another rookie director, writer, actor, Danzig.
Oh, I thought you were going to say John DeHart.
No, Danzig. Who do you think?
I think Josh is better than Danzig. There's not a lot of lingering shots. There's a lot of lingering dialogue.
Yeah,
but not a lot of lingering shots.
I feel like Josh definitely put more of him into his first movie.
Josh might have went to film school for a semester.
Possibly. Yeah. He tried harder with it. He tried to focus on dialogue, whereas Danzig just focuses on T&A, let's say.
Yeah.
So I think I got to give it to Josh too. There's nothing to agree with.
There's something there.
Yeah, exactly. He's working on it. I hate those glasses. I hate his face.
He looked very German.
He looked very German. Yeah. So you did say that this man is a YouTube pastor, and you took a little taste of it because you needed to see what he's been up to today. So what was your fun dip taste test?
I watched a one called A Day in the Life because he's a little cheeky pastor. He uses humor to get the.
Well, he's a youth pastor,
right? He's not like these boring go to sleep, in the church kind of guys.
He's the kind of guy who's got the soundboard next to him.
He's the kind of guy that could charm a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah, he does the fart noise sometimes, to really. Has
a little jokes in with his sermonizing.
Oh, he's got the best jokes. We'll get some jokes in here.
And so it's called Day in the Life.
Day in the Life.
And so it starts with him being woken up. It's morning. It's a day in the life. He's woken up, wakes up. He's wearing a dress shirt, button-down shirt, and boxers.
Yeah.
Now, this flew over my head. Griff got it immediately. Obviously, he's a young person. Younger, I should say.
And I also work in this tech world where I've been working at home. And so the whole joke about, you only have to half dress because only your top half. And I have done interviews in the summer where it gets 95 degrees in my living room, as you know.
Yeah.
And so I was wearing a dress shirt, had to wet my face down so I didn't sweat during the interview, but I was wearing garbage shorts, my Rollins shorts.
And he puts on the most atrocious Europop crap playing in the background.
Atrocious, Murray, we fell in love with the Euro music in this movie.
No, I think most of this was American.
Okay.
I don't know. This was
probably Detroit's own.
What? European, I'm sure we got some European listeners. Why do you all love electronic music? You all love it. It's the worst. And we're from the birthplace of techno. And I'm saying, no.
Yeah.
Turn it off. But he's playing this poppy shit, and he's watering his plants, and then he opens up the shutters, and he's looks out his window, and he puts on a fedora. Just to let you, and that's when I went, stop. And I stopped watching it. Because I think there was 15 minutes left of that shit.
Yeah. How many views did that have?
Not a lot. We're almost neck and neck with him as far as I'm not even exaggerating that much.
Well,
but now we're going to make him a star, so he's going to be. You're welcome, Josh. That's all I'm going to say.
Everyone's going to be rushing to watch this movie.
It's
not
by the way,
Russian, so.
It's on every fucking platform for free.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube. It's on
he's trying
Amazon
to spread
Prime.
Right. God's gospel.
Yeah,
So it makes sense to make it free. You got to get the people in the seats. Wait, do we have a trailer for this?
Yes, there's a trailer.
There's a trailer.
For this.
Good.
Should we throw to it?
Let's throw to it.
All right. In the days of COVID, my brothers, my sisters, when your road is covered in fish, when you kneel at the feet of some Christian hacker off the streets, the gutters will run with the blood of Jesus Christ. In this trailer for 2025, the world enslaved by a virus.
Life is different now. We can't change that.
It's 2025. The world as we have known in 2020 does not exist anymore. The virus changed the world, and communism is all over the place. A global world language developed. Meetings are illegal. Traveling is illegal. And Christianity is illegal.
I can do the most important thing of my life. To believe.
Our great leaders created a system, the United Nations. Team, go! Do not hold back any method to eliminate this problem.
I won't give up the fight.
Neither will I. I want to make a difference. I want to change the world we're living in, and I want to make Jesus be glorified again.
It's 2025. The world as we known it. The world as we. It's going to get worse, people. The world, because the diction is so awful. This is a German writing in English. The world as we have known in 2020 doesn't exist anymore. The virus changed the world. Communism is all over the place. A global state developed. Meetings are illegal. Traveling is illegal. Christianity is illegal.
Again, we're setting a world where we're going to see a lot of tension, a lot of buildup, a lot of near misses.
I would have put communism is everywhere. It's a little poetic more than it's all over the place.
Right. Again, we got to be careful about being too nitpicky. Again, English second language and all that. But yeah, this little crawl here did not do us any favors.
But he knows his films because he starts out with action. In an action movie, you got to start with action.
Exactly. And here we do. We got a beater. He's cruising along. It didn't make sense because you got this beautiful boy with his wonderful teen glasses on and everything, rocking out to his Europop. Got like a headlight knocked out of his car and everything, and he's cruising along.
He's driving a beater.
Quote unquote speeding, and we see that the cops are right on his tail.
That they are, and he's like, I got to Tokyo Drift. So he just goes off roading. It's like a Honda Civic, and he's just fishtailing, no pun intended, all over the place.
Oh, I like what you did there. Yeah. That's a good Christian motif.
And
right
then
there.
He's like, I guess I got to turn around. So he turns around, and then there's just a scene where he just pulls off the road. He just gives up.
He pulls off the road. More people join the chase.
He daintily goes across the hood. Did you notice that? He didn't slide. He's like, gets down, and then he gives himself up.
Well, he was wearing his Sunday clothes, man, so he didn't want to get him all dirty going across some weird, dirty hood.
Gives himself up to the pigs. Cut to the interrogation room. They're going to break this kid. But are they? Because he is serene in the extreme. He is totally chill.
Whew.
They're trying to break him. He's not breaking.
Right. They, of course, throw down 2 books right in front of him. He's chained up. He's got the handcuffs. They have like a metal bar across it that
he's got the Hannibal Lecter mask on.
Why? Oh, it's because his words are so powerful.
Yeah,
I did notice they had a gag in his mouth as well.
Yeah, ball gag, yeah.
Yeah, they can't let him preach. So they take that out because they do need to actually interrogate him.
Right. You need to hear somebody when interrogating him.
So
only thing that was on his person were the only things you need.
They were in his car, apparently, which... Right. As we learn later, he stole the car, so...
He didn't steal, he borrowed it. He was going to bring it back.
Okay, right.
He didn't steal. He's a
good Christian boy. And so, well, Jesus
took the wheel.
Jesus took the wheel, so really, Jesus stole the car. He just happened to be in it.
Right.
Anyways, okay.
So they just slammed down 2 books. The only 2 books you need. The Bible, of course.
Yes.
And the Legal Code of Germany.
Yeah, of course.
And he also did have a laminated card of the German Constitution in his pocket.
You got to have that,
yeah.
As we know as good American boys, good American Christian boys. So, of course, this guy is going to be like, we found these. Those aren't mine.
Aren't mine.
And that's the perfect defense. It's like, what are you going to do about that?
And then he just, as most Christians do, he condescendingly starts explaining to this grunt cop about the world.
Right. Because he's going to go through and explain to him, in just a year, we've forgotten about all these laws that used to protect us.
The world has changed. Gone full communism.
Yeah.
Outlaw Christianity in a year.
I love that we actually have a character to explain why everyone has just blindly accepted everything. And Luke, who is just like, come on, man. The world
Adapt with the times. Evolution.
Evolution, which we know is false.
These books are from a better time. When we could see our friends whenever we wanted to. We had hope and ice cream. Remember ice cream?
Okay, so the interrogator is a chubby dude.
Yeah.
And so he knows because he's a great preacher. And kudos, Joshua Wesley. This is how you reach a fat guy. You talk about ice cream.
The question is, who's the real sheep? Because this guy's automatically like, just adapt or die. Like, the world changes. You just got to accept it. All right?
All right.
I loved ice cream. You can see I'm a fat piece of shit. But they took it away from me because it's a sign of Christianity. And I gave up. And I'm fine.
Right. And so this is where, again, Roy has to bring it back. Ball's in his court again. He's like, oh, no, my sweet sheep. They've pulled the wool over your eyes. They're like, look at this. And he's like going through and he's pointing out.
Opens up the German law book. And
yeah.
He's like, and then he's like, we're like reading the subtitles.
He's gone through and scratched out all the rights that have been stripped from them.
Right.
Do you remember when we used to be able to eat ice cream in public?
Remember we could sleep with 14-year-old girls?
Hello? Like, come on, let's
and then we get like a montage of, we see some like a Coldplay concert or some shit where everyone's got their phones up, and then we see like a beach wedding and all this shit that we don't have anymore thanks to this police state.
Thanks to that's mostly the Democrats over in America.
Of course.
They've
infiltrated Europe.
They infiltrated Europe. I mean, what do you think techno music does? It warps their brains into being susceptible to this kind of mind control.
You're basically saying you're lemming if you listen to electronic music.
That's why good Christians listen to rap rock.
Right. It never went out of style in Christian land.
Exactly.
It's 20 years past its sell by date, but not to them.
I mean, think of when Christianity was at its peak recently. It's when POD was active. Because they are the greatest Christian rap rock band of all time.
That's the only one I've heard of. So, yeah, you're right. So now we pull some Tarantino shit. We cut to 3 months ago. This is where it all started for Roy. Did we say his name's Roy?
We did.
Okay. See, Roy and his sister Hannah.
Hannah?
And they're just chilling at their house. Luke the Weasel pops in to give him a little... info, some deeds. He's like, did you hear? Jack was arrested, tortured, and killed for being a Christian. And they're like, oh, no, that is so bad. Oh.
So Roy immediately, I'm jumping into action. I think we need to do something. We need to rile everybody up. We need to rile the Christians up because we have the greatest spirit. We're right. When we die, we're going to heaven. We're going to meet with Jesus, but he needs us. He's got us here for a reason. We need to get a plan together. But Luke is a weasel.
Right.
So he's just like, that sounds ludicrous. Adapt or die.
Right. He's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I love atheism. And then he's got the little baby Nang Chen. It was irritating me.
Right. He was like, Brother Luke, your beautiful hair, you've got it tied back into a baby Nang Chen. What are you up to? And he's like, I've turned my back on Jesus. And then he literally turns his back on Roy.
Right.
Did you notice that?
Well, he's the Judas of this story. Obviously, Roy is Jesus.
Yeah.
He is Judas.
Oh, okay. These are Bible characters.
He's getting his 30 CDs of techno if he does this.
He's like, would you like to listen to a POD song before you leave? Oh, no. I'm really into techno now.
Right. So he leaves, and Hannah and Roy are like, what are we going to do? I wish God was here to guide us, but he is there to guide them. And they decide they come up with a plan. But the first they're talking like, where are all the pastors? Where have all the fighters for Christianity gone? They're gone. What happened to them?
Right. And so Roy, of course, he hits the Bible, like the Wikipedia pages, a lot harder than Hannah does. Because Hannah was a nurse, as we learn later.
Yeah.
So some of her time was taken up with that. But Roy, we have no clue what he did before
Oh,
COVID.
no, we do. We learned.
Oh, we do?
Because he was studying for his PhD in economy.
Oh, right. That's right. Okay, so apparently he made time for Jesus and his economy studies.
He minored in Jesus.
Right. So they're lamenting about where all the pastors and everything. And Roy, he busts out the history lessons. He's like, hey, don't you remember how when Christianity got born 2,000 years ago, it was illegal too. And Hannah just like guffaw. True.
Right.
Jeez.
It's like, Hannah, I have a plan. Let's go out. Remember when the Christians would do the fish symbol? We need to do that so that people would know that we still exist.
Right. And this is going to form... We learned about it in our last Christian movie, Road to Revelation. Jesus is a bridge. And when you go out and spray paint fish on the ground, it creates that bridge. You got
to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere.
And of course, we're talking about, for all you non-Christians, we're talking, if you've ever seen a car that had a fish on the back, that's the Jesus fish.
Yeah.
So, so that's their plan. I think I got some spray here. So they had the weirdest spray cans, too.
It was the weirdest.
It was like Cheese Whiz kind of spray cans.
It looked like Cheese Whiz because you had to get your finger like right next to the nozzle.
Right.
It didn't make any sense.
And they had they made no sense. They didn't know what they were doing. I think it was the first time they ever used spray paint before because they're going, we get a Christian rock montage of them spraying fish. They're such badasses, like rebels. They're wearing their masks.
Yes.
Because obviously they get in trouble in real life in Germany.
Right. And this is guerrilla filming.
Right. And they're just in the forest spraying trees and the ground.
Right. And
because they don't want to offend anybody by spraying, something, a private property.
Now, let's step aside here. Joshua Wesley did a good job with this scene. This is a good time for a montage. He's got the Christian rock going. He almost nails this. The problem is that he does a Danzig, and he lingers on them just walking around in the forest, and then he even pauses, turns off the music for him to go, this looks like a good place for a fish. They're just looking at leaves on the ground. This is a good spot. How is it a good spot?
No,
yes,
it's the worst.
They're leaves. A windy wind comes by. Your fish is gone. What?
But
Josh.
There is he does some nice moves where there's like a park bench, someone spray painted "fuck Jesus" on it, and he's like, "Fuck you," and he sprayed a fish right over it. He said, "Frick you."
Yeah, frick you.
And I was like, "Yes!" And then they're like going in tunnels. They're going in like warrior tunnels where they're spraying the fish over for graffiti, underpasses.
It's amazing because, as we know, communism's taken over. This city is looking spotless. Like they go under bridges.
Well, it's Germany, of course.
They're in sewers and everything, and they looked beautiful. No homeless people anywhere. So this is the world communism gave them. It's terrible.
Every homeless person has a home now, thanks to communism.
That's not right. It's meritocracy.
You should
all
be
the way.
free to live in the woods if you want to.
Exactly.
Right? And they take them off the streets.
Right.
You should be free to be a drug addict, and they give you rehab. And they're like, no.
Exactly.
But there's someone scary lurking in the background. You think he's scary.
I thought he was scary.
You see a mysterious character wearing a Special Forces baseball cap and an American flag bandana around his face.
Yeah. Neck gaiter, I think they call those.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Oh, man. So, you're supposed to be kind of creeped out because we know that there's this horrible police force that's looking for them. So we're like, oh, crap, is that one of the horrible police forces? Are they trying to do like a 1984 thing where like everybody's a spy for the government? Who is this mischievous character? But we won't worry about that for now because we're in the tunnel and they're going to do their last fish of the day. And they're like, this is going to be a really special one. So Roy has a blue can because he's a boy.
Right.
And then Hannah has a pink can of spray paint because she's a girl.
Right.
It's
As
very
God made them, yeah.
The Christian world is very simple.
Yeah.
It's binary. There's two of every, just like Moses did it. There's two of everything. And
That was Noah, by the way.
Noah?
Yeah.
Which one was Moses?
Moses was, he led the Jews out of Egypt. The Ten Commandments?
Oh, he parted the waters.
10 Commandments, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was a cool scene.
Noah was the one with the animals.
Oh, right. Noah. Okay. So
Good Lord, if Noah was around today, we'd have 50 of each animal with all the genders. But, so yeah, they're getting ready to do their last tag of the day, and then the police force finally finds them, because they have cameras everywhere.
Everywhere.
We don't see them.
Never.
But they're everywhere.
And so our special force guy, well, not our special force guy, excuse me, our police guy comes walking down the tunnel, and Roy, I want to point out, Roy has a very special ability. He can sense danger, Spider-Man style,
Right.
and instead of helping the people around him, he bolts.
Right.
So he is gone from this scene, and Hannah is left there, turns, sees the cop, and the cop, of course, says, I'm standing my ground,
Right.
and starts shooting, because that's what
Right.
good cops do.
And he shoots her in the arm, and she collapses.
Yep.
And then the guy, he's like standing over. He's right. Who knows? He's a raper. I don't know. He's these sick pigs.
But we do know what he was going to do because he goes, you're a Christian. I know that fish. That's in our database. Which their database in this movie, by the way, is word sheets. They keep their database just in Word documents.
I basically designed their security system because that's what I would do.
Oh, jeez.
And so, yeah, and he's just about to do something to arrest her, and then that mysterious figure with the American gator face, what do you call it?
Neck gator.
Neck gator. Boop, knocks him on the head, knocks the guy out, and then he starts going, Where are you born? Where are you born? Like, I don't know why I kept asking her that question. Where were you born?
Yeah, that was really weird.
And then I guess that's what you do when someone's shot. I don't know. And then he grabs like a little like fanny pack off the cop and like makes a tourniquet on her forearm, or not her forearm, her upper arm.
Right.
And then he asks her again, where were you born? She says like Frankfurt or some shit.
She says Frankfurt. She said great hot dogs, best hot dogs, perfectly grilled hot dogs. And then finally,
Roy appears again.
Several minutes have passed. Roy has finally appeared. And he's like, who are you? What has happened? Are you hurt? Yes.
No, I'm not, because the tourniquet stopped the bleeding.
Right.
I'm fine now.
So now they're like, who are you? Should we trust you? And he's like, I'm Hunter. Yes, you should trust me. Okay.
I just want to point out, I hate Hunter more than anybody in this movie. I despise Hunter. I'm getting Ginty vibes off of the whole movie. I hate you, Hunter.
How does Hunter get...
Hunter is American, by the way, too.
Yeah. How is it that Hunter is more despicable than Roy? Because Roy is just so full of himself, and he's just awful.
I don't know. It's just, I just hate phony tough guys. You know that. That's why I don't like Ginty.
Yeah.
Roy... I don't know. Like he's kind of like, I think he's comfortable being a weasel. Like yeah.
There's something about Hunter too. It looks like somebody smoothed out his face, like just sandpapered his face. He just looks weird to me, just so strange. So they're like, "Well, you seem pretty cool to me. Why don't you just come back to our fog house?"
He saved her life.
Yeah. So he's like, "Come back to my fog house," and now we're joined here. And I'm not kidding. It's like. It maybe not fog, but it's like this whole house is like hazed in steam for some reason. And it's because he's got cool lights. And Roy was like, this is what good movies do. They have cool lights. Okay, we're at a good time now because they're in his this is supposed to be an abandoned building, but it's like a perfectly kept house.
Well, communism, yeah.
Communism. Yeah. And so he has dressed up his room, his apartment, and he's got like the two metal like box case, glass case doors and everything, and then he's got medals in them. And then he's just got like a table and then
I know there's a
bottle of
scene where he's
water.
like staring at a medal.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting. You really made me think a lot about that. So good job with that one, Joshua Wesley. Good job with your set dressing.
Yeah.
You did a good job there.
And so they're talking. The first thing you got to ask a guy is, you don't know, is, are you a Christian?
Right. Okay. So Hunter, of course, is wearing a crucifix over his very tight sweater.
His black sweater with his very Steve Jobs.
Of course, it's got the army rip-off patches that you can do on the side, and then he had.
Meanwhile, Hannah healed. That tourniquet fixed everything.
She's just sitting on the floor next to him. Hunter hands her a glass of water and says, "You'll be okay now." She takes a sip, makes one kind of like face, and then she's like, "You're right."
Yeah, he's like, the bleeding stopped.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. I just put a tourniquet on it.
Yeah.
The bleeding has stopped.
The bleeding has stopped.
The bullet went all the way through. Remember, we know that. The bullet goes all the way through, you're set.
Look, Joshua knows his bullet logic.
Missed the bone, nothing. No
Missed the
problems.
bone. All right. So, yeah. Are you a good Christian boy? Mm-hmm. Definitely a Christian.
That's all they need. If you're a Christian, you go by their word.
Right. All right. And so I feel like they did like a weird cutaway and then they came back, but who cares about that? All we need to know is that we're going to learn a little bit more.
We get a little tiny bit of backstory. We go deeper into Hunter's backstory in the next couple
That's
scenes.
right. That's right. Okay.
But we learn he was a Marine, so obviously he knows how to field dress a wound.
Right.
And he's like, the virus happened, and I just left the Marines. We don't know why. We just know he left the Marines because of the virus. And Hannah's like, I was a nurse, and I did too. And Roy, he was studying his PhD in economy.
So they're all trying to set up that like the establishments that they had trusted and were trying to work their way through and rise the ranks, their people turned on them.
Yeah,
just like how people are like pro and anti-vaccine. So they've got that kind of stuff happening here. And so they're like, everybody turned on us and told us that, we're wrong.
Well,
not
isn't
getting
the
vaccine.
whole premise of this movie that the COVID is a hoax?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 100%.
And so Hunter's like, I'm digging that fish tagging. I'm in. Let's do this.
You guys, that work you were doing, that really made me feel like I could feel my bridge to Jesus extending when I came across those fish. I think we should go do some more tags. Oh, you're in on tagging? Amen, brother.
And then they high-fived. Cut to a very bizarre scene. We see...
No, not bizarre. Very artistic. It makes you think, Murray.
Much like A Day in the Life of Josh, that YouTube video I was talking about, we see this young, cute little blonde girl waking up. This is Josh's real-life wife. She's 18. She's 18. He let us know she was 18.
Yeah.
She's waking up.
We do see her ID on the counter as well, and you could, if you do the math, she is 18 in the movie as well.
Right.
It's safe, everybody.
Yeah.
It's okay.
They actually show us close-up of her driver's license.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
can tell. Yeah. She gets up. She goes downstairs. There's a bag of cereal with like a clip on it. Is that how the Germans do it? They don't have boxes. It's just a bag. Was it left for her by the person who left this note? Was it hers? I don't know.
The favorite part, I don't remember seeing the cereal. I think I did see some bagged cereal because, I was staying in people's houses when I was in Germany.
Yeah. Would you rifle through their shit?
Yeah, I absolutely did. My favorite part was there was American bread.
Okay.
It made me very happy to see that. I took a picture of it.
Well, she just has a bag of cereal. I don't know if I'm going to say the person who left this note left her bag of cereal.
It looked like a serial killer note.
Yes. It would look like a 5-year-old did it in crayon.
Yes. So who wrote this?
Well, we learned because it says basically, don't trust anyone. Don't do anything for anyone. I love you too much. You're too important to me. Love, Mom. So it's her mom. Her mom.
Oh, it said love, Mom.
Yeah. Well, it said Mum.
Oh.
And so her mom it must be illiterate or functioning illiterate because she writes like a child.
Maybe her mom had a stroke.
There was a backward R. It was everything. They say like children.
She might have. She was probably immunocompromised and everything, so she was very strict about following COVID restrictions and all that.
Yeah, she was probably. You mean brainwashed? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Brainwashed. And so, wow, see all this context that we know about the character just by that note. That's really good screenwriting.
Right.
Josh, good job again. And this is his Neil Breen scene. This is a Breen scene.
Well, speaking of not so good screenwriting, this is where we're going to do our reenactment, this next scene. I just want to say, first of all, if any emotions come through of our acting, that's totally our fault. We screwed up because these people have the most monotone conversation, no emotions, very German.
Yep. Any stuttering, anything where it sounds like we're tripping up and getting lost? No. That is us perfecting this scene.
I literally, when I was transcribing this scene, I went closed caption. Everything we say was in this scene.
I imagine it took you 4 hours to get this.
It took me an hour.
Okay.
And so the scene, we're going to set up the scene. It's between Hunter, who I'll be playing the role of Hunter, and Hannah. Griff will play the role of Hannah.
Of course I will.
They're hanging out in the apartment. She's healed now from her bullet wound. And now they're getting to know. We're getting to know Hunter.
We already know that he was in the Marines, but we gotta dig in a little bit closer. Right. She was a nurse.
She's still unsure about him, so she's like want to learn about him.
Right. Before I tag with the man, I need to know the man.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's the scene right now.
So why did you actually leave the Marines?
Well, a few reasons, really. The first one was that I had a girlfriend in the Army, but got to a point where she was like siding with the government, really, and these new ideas, you and me both don't like it, and so I just really couldn't bear that anymore. Really, can't live with that.
Oh, I'm sorry. This must be hard.
Yeah, we were together like 4 years, but I mean, I'm pretty much over it now. Yeah. Anyway, the second reason, which was like super horrible in my opinion, is that my leadership actually came down and they were going to make me make all of us actually recite like the new Constitution and like say it out loud and pretty much like swear into it, which like I swear to nobody other than God, So yeah, that's...
Yeah. I mean, I also had to quit my job, and my brother and I live here just so to be safe. But as you can imagine, it's not going to last for a long time. Yeah, and our parents, they were Christians as well. And we used to go to church every Sunday. We used to have our worship time. We used to pray.
Back in the good old days.
Yeah, back in the good days. Yeah, but once this whole situation got worse and worse, they decided to end their lives because they couldn't find the strength to work on,
I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, I know exactly how it feels to lose parents because, like, my parents are 65 now, but it's like, although they're living, like, they're not actually living. They all I hear, like, every time I call them and stuff, they're always talking about, like, the government and the news, and it's like how great it is, and it's just like I can't bear it. Like, I try to open their eyes. I try to like, bring light to the situation, but it's like the more and more they're listening, like it should, it's just hopeless. I don't think there's anything I can do anymore, Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry for that. And do you live around here, or where do you live?
I live actually 20 minutes. I don't even know where this place is. I'd say about 20 minutes away from here. But yeah, to be honest, I don't even feel safe with coming back at all, because it seems like they're monitoring everything. And I'm pretty sure there's a good chance that they saw what was just happening. So,
yeah, I know. That was also the thing that I was thinking about. I mean, you see cameras everywhere and police officers, And yeah, the whole monitoring system they actually created over the years. And so I think they must see everything. Even our spraying and our gathering and walking around. And sometimes I think why don't they do anything? Because sometimes they don't show up. And is this because there are some coworkers or employees that are actually on our side and try to protect us? Or is it just because they have a bad monitoring system? But I don't know.
I don't know, but I know what you mean, though. It seems like we're being watched like all the time.
Yeah.
All the time, but yeah. Do you think I could actually stay with you right here?
Yeah, sure. I mean, Roy would be super happy, and...
Okay, awesome.
We love you being part of us now.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. Welcome.
Appreciate it. Sorry, I've been looking at this guitar for forever. Do you play?
Actually, sometimes I try to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very good.
Just takes practice, really. I used to play in a band at my church, actually.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like where I learned to play. I miss those days.
Yeah, me too.
And scene.
Oh, it was really weird that they kept the shots of them laughing about the dialogue.
Yeah,
that was really weird.
Well, one shot. They call Josh the one-shot wonder. He's
one-shot wonder. That's how. Again, I said this has the spirit of canon in it, and it's just that right there, one-shot wonder.
Exactly.
Oh man.
So yeah, that's what we're dealing with. These are the conversations people have in the movie. They say like every other word, and they overuse the word actually too. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Actually, they did.
All right.
So now we know all we need to know about Hunter. His parents have been brainwashed. His girlfriend has been brainwashed, but he's over it. He's over it. He's sending that signal to Hannah. Oh, I'm over it. Don't worry.
I love it because you think with an acoustic guitar, because that's what he picks up, he's gonna like play like an acoustic song. They start rap rocking.
Yeah.
He starts doing like some of the Korn very loose bass string thumping and everything.
Yeah, those strings were very loose.
It was interesting.
It sounds really bad on an acoustic.
It sounds terrible. I wish Hannah would have been like, "Could you leave now?" But she doesn't. She's a very good Christian girl. All right. So now we got to check in on Leela because all we know about her is she enjoys cereal by herself. Her mom possibly had a stroke, possibly has long-term COVID or whatever they call it.
Well, no, COVID doesn't exist, so she can't have COVID.
Well, that's what she tells Leela.
She might have the microchip and the vaccine is doing something to her.
Fucking Steve. Excuse me. Oh, my goodness. It's just when I start thinking about Steve Jobs.
Baby steps.
Yeah, and Tim Apple.
Tim Apple, that guy's a prick. We learned that this strange Lila character, we still don't know her connection to this movie at all.
Is it Lila?
Yeah, it's Lila.
Oh, okay.
She could be a character from another movie for all we know.
Really.
But she works for the government, so now we hate her.
Right. And it's like we just got the scoop that they think maybe someone's on the inside helping them. And then we get Lila, who's on the inside, and we see she opens up a folder. Every day she comes in. I like this repetition. It's very real life. So she comes in. There's always just a folder sitting right next to her laptop. And she opens the folder, and there's just a sheet with names, just one line of names. It's not And she looks them over. We don't get to see it. She just looks it over, and she, like, stuffs them into her bag. And it's like, is she bad?
We don't know. But she stuffs some of these papers into her bag, and we don't know what she's going to do with them.
Yeah, and we just know she's up to no good. She's being mischievous.
Yeah.
And then we get the jump scare because, like, a cop grabs her shoulder or something, and then she looks up, and you're like, oh, no, she got caught. Oh, no, she works for them.
Right. Now we cut to a hacker. How do we know they're a hacker, Griff? Because they're wearing a hoodie sweatshirt. In front of a computer.
It's shot from behind, so you get the dark, ominous-looking thing. We're seeing this person
At least there's a payoff for this hacker, unlike the Breen movie where we had a hacker, the exact same scene, and I still don't know what that character was.
No idea.
Yeah.
We got a lot of reason for this character. We see that they have the cool light-up mouse, so it's supposed to be like this dark, ominous thing, and then you have this mouse going through the RGB spectrum. And one hand on the keyboard, just not even trying to hit the keys because they clearly were running some kind of program and they didn't want to disrupt it. And then the person is supposedly moving little windows around, and that's hacking. There was like a miner's pick animation going on. I saw the DAO, just like live DAO readouts and stuff. I was like, this is good hacking. I've hacked before. This is really good. This is top shelf hacking, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah.
This person, who is this guy? We don't know if they're good, bad. We don't know.
Who's this person?
Yeah. I use the non-gender version of guy.
Oh, yeah, right. Like the plural of people, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're back with our trio. We need a little levity. This is getting too intense.
Right.
Man.
Let's go tag. Let's go build that bridge to Jesus for some more people. Levity. I get it. I like unleavened bread, just like Jesus
when I think
did.
of levity, I think of humor. I think of Hunter.
Yes, Hunter. He's got. Look, this guy in another life, he probably could have been friends with Vinny.
Right. He is a badass Marine. He can play the acoustic bass.
Oh, my goodness.
And he can tell a good joke.
Yeah, he knows how to write bars for rap rock. He knows how to play that loose string bass, you're right, and jokes.
So he's like, hey, guys, want to hear a joke? Sure, we're German. We love to laugh. What did COVID do to Jesus? What did he do?
Oh, that's a very interesting thing. I must really think about this for a while.
Yeah, true.
You guys want to hear a joke?
Do you have a good one?
Yeah, I got one. All right. What did Corona do to Jesus? No? Nothing. Okay. All right.
Nothing! And I love how this had to have been ad-lib because they no-selled it. They didn't even laugh.
They no-selled.
They were like,
this was
very
so good.
humorous.
And then they look at him and they're like, that was a good joke. And he goes, COVID, like the lockdown has gotten to me.
And then they do a little more walking. Hey, guys, how about another Corona joke? I totally this is how long this shit's been going on. I totally forgot we called it Corona. I'm so used to COVID.
I
now.
know.
So I was like,
really.
are they talking about beer? Like I really thought they were talking about the beer.
It took me a minute too. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, Corona.
Yeah. All right, guys. All right. He's like cracking up. He's like,
yeah, no, it's like me when I'm trying to do line reads and I just crack myself up.
What do you call a fish without an eye?
Well, I just don't know.
That sounds very illogical.
Cyclops?
I hate Hunter so much.
And
they do too because they look like they want to kill him.
Yeah, but you know what? Again, they spray paint and everything. They're just
you notice they let Hunter finally spray paint the ground.
Yeah,
and he fucks it up and spray paints her on his shoe. she's like, "What are you doing?"
Oh, he was nervous. Yeah. He thought he was.
One thing he can't do is tag.
I can't imagine what he would look like with a gun.
They needed Rembrandt from the Warriors to teach them how to properly tag.
That's what they need. Rembrandt knew how to tag a wall, or the ground,
or a tombstone,
or a tombstone. So they're continuing to walk along. They're having a good time. You know what? A day ago, they just lost their best friend, Luke, and now they got this new guy in their life who is so into Jesus.
Right, he's committed.
He's committed, and they need that in their life. So, hey, I'm feeling good for them.
Well, you know who also notices our hacker friend, who's sitting, watching them outside his window.
Yep. And we get to see a glimpse of, again, communism, allowing these, hackers working on the side to live in, nice places and everything. We all know hackers are supposed to be dwelling in a basement or something.
Right.
So this didn't make any sense because they're up on the second or third story.
Well, in a free world, they would be in their basement.
They had nice Venetian.
This is a world under communism. This is a world enslaved by a virus. You're in a nice, clean apartment.
Right. Beautiful curtains, had plants, everything looked alive. Their desk had the nice dipping bird thing. They had all kinds of fun little Funko Pops. So many.
Everywhere.
Good set dressing again.
I can't wait for the Roy Funko Pop.
I can't wait for that either. So this is going well. They got spotted by the hacker though, and we're like, oh, what is this hacker up to?
Well, the hacker decides to do his own research because he starts Googling Jesus fish. And we just see Google image of just Jesus fish popping up on the...
Yep.
And then he starts Wikipedia and Bible stuff, starts highlighting words.
As we know, it took 2 years for everyone to forget what the Jesus fish was, what Jesus is about,
Yes.
all of that.
I don't know
was
how
just
this is even
wiped out.
available.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's a hacker. This is a hacker. They can get into anything.
Yeah, you need it. This character had to be a hacker because no one can act. This is like the poor Chinese folk who can't access the same internet, and the Russian folk.
Right.
So she had to hack around. Okay, no, this makes sense now.
And they finally highlight the word "no longer in the flesh"
After they go to the wiki page,
right?
Because that's where you get your real research done,
right?
As we know,
yeah.
Or IMDb is also a very good resource,
right?
Yeah,
for us, yeah. Back at Roy's, the trio, they're sleeping off a long day of tagging, and then there's a knock at the door. Roy immediately turns on Hunter. "Are you a traitor? Did you sell us out?" He's like, "No.
I didn't sell you out. I just think maybe we should answer the door." You think we should answer the door? Yeah.
Sounds like something a traitor would say.
So they answered the door.
And then there's the mysterious hooded character, and then pulls the hood back, and it's a Goyle.
It's a Goyle.
She goes, "Hello, I am Holly."
She's looking like a Wachowski. She's got a black little leather skirt on.
Dressed like a hacker would be dressed.
Yeah.
A female hacker.
Black tights. She's got long blonde hair.
Got the Doc Martens, like
choker.
Yeah.
She's like, "Hello."
Goth, because all female hackers are goth. We all know that.
You have to be. She even had the fingerless gloves.
Right. And the black fingernail polish.
Fishnets up her arms for reasons.
Yeah, it was full on goth hack.
Big time Hardy fan. That's all I got to say about that. And so, "Hello, I am Holly, the hacker."
And she's not a true believer, but she's open to what they have to sell.
Well, Murray, it's because it's like she's all about that freedom of choice, and she's like, the government has oppressed everybody.
Right, she's like, "I do not know your Jesus.
Yeah.
But I do believe in freedom of choice."
And I like this whole bit about he's no longer in the flesh. I'd like to know a little bit more about that.
And then she drops this about this character we have yet to meet named Lucinda, who's high up in the government. Apparently she knows her. I'm guessing she used to work for the government, being a high-level hacker, and then she realized what was going on and left. But she goes, "Lucinda, she is animal cracker. I've seen her files. No one likes her."
No one.
And they're like, they're suspicious, but they're open to her. And so, was it Hunter that says, "All right."
Yeah, they bring her in because she has cleared the bar. Yeah. She said, "Jesus is pretty cool. I'm a big freedom of choice person. Guns are also pretty okay." So they're like, "Come on in."
Hunter's a little suspicious though, because he's like, "But what can you hack?"
Right.
And she just goes, "Everything. Give me 1-2 hours maybe. I could get into any system in the world."
Is that how you found us? Yes, I hacked you. I don't understand how she hacked them, because as we know, she looked out the window, saw them, and followed them. But apparently she hacked them now. I'm
saying, this is my interpretation of it, she hacked into the police cameras and she followed them home. Like she followed to the...
Yeah, okay. I'm guessing they just live across the street from her.
Yeah, probably.
That's my guess.
I'm guessing at least 20 minutes away.
At least...
It's 20 minutes away.
I don't know, maybe 20 minutes away. Where am I?
So she's like, "Yeah, I can hack it." He's like, well, could you hack into the police? Yes. Give me 1, maybe 2 hours. I could do that.
Could you hack into a Taco Bell and get us like a really ridiculously large order? Yes.
That might take 30 hours. Yeah, well, I can do it.
Their security is top-notch at Taco Bell.
The firewall is amazing. It's fiery and spicy.
All right.
And so they're like, could you hack in to find the Christians? I mean, we're looking for the Christians. We know there's a Christian database. We know because we saw Lila's page.
And again,
double spaced.
By database, you mean word sheets?
Yes, word sheets. And so Roy's like, "Great! We're going to finally do this. We're going to take it to the next level."
It's just, I mean, it's like when in the A-Team, when everything starts coming together, they're just riffing so hard. It's when you get a good rep rock fucking, oh boy, there I go again. I'm just so into this. I'm amped. Because everything is flowing now. The juices, they're like, we've got the means, we've got the reach, we've got the
Jesus
preacher.
juice is flowing.
The Jesus juice is flowing. And so they're just like, with your help, with your database information and our ability to speak to people and Hunter helping and Hannah helping, we could start our own underground church.
Right. Just like they did in the old days, the apostles.
Yeah. So we'll get all the phone numbers from the word sheets, the database.
Christian database, yeah.
And we'll start a touring church service. And we'll be able to reach everybody by their phones that aren't being monitored, even though they're told they're being monitored.
We'll get our OnlyFans page. We'll get all of that stuff up.
Yeah. And so we get this nice montage of Holly setting up her new hacker environment in the closet, because that's where hack. See, this makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
I get this. Like, this makes sense. Put her in the closet.
Well, it's got to be some kind of dark room. Speaking of dark rooms, Lila also works in a very dark, ominous room. And she sees an opportunity that she can hack in, because we learned that Lila is on her side. She is the mole that.
Yeah.
But we never. Is she just a random mole? Like, how does she know Roy? We never see the connection.
No, we don't need that, apparently.
Okay, we don't. But we're assuming there is a connection.
There has to be a connection. Well, maybe Jesus is their only connection. Maybe they were doing some secret church stuff before. See, that could have been their connection, is that he started doing a secret Jesus sermons, and they somehow met, and then they, figure this out.
She goes into a room, I'm assuming was supposed to be a server room.
It was supposed to be
and
a server
it was just
room.
one that had another laptop. It's a dark room with a laptop.
And if you pay close attention, you'll see it's the same laptop that's carried into every scene. There's only one laptop for... It's just like some of those movies we do where they only have one gun and everyone has to use it. So there's one laptop in this movie and everybody uses it. And one Acer monitor as well.
She's really tapping into that Christian database,
and this is where you get to see her ability to destroy a database, a Word document. Which, by the way, I saw what was happening here. This was how we do our notes. That's a cloud application, so there's already a backup of it. They could just restore it from 5 minutes ago, and they'd be fine. But no, she deleted it.
Well,
forever.
under communism, we don't know what.
You're right. What did communism do to Google Docs? We don't know. This is good. Okay,
so mission accomplished. But as she walks out, Lucinda, who we've heard about, who she's totally animal cracker, and she's like, "What were you doing in there?"
That's the worst insult ever. We were talking about calling people chickens the other day, and now we got animal cracker.
But Lila, she's slick.
Yeah, I was making it more efficient. I was adding lubricant.
And when you tell that to a German, they totally.
Oh yeah. How? I added lubricant to the server fans. It makes them spin faster.
It plays out. Go about your business. And then we're like, whew. Now this, oh my God, this is where we're going to add some audio.
Oh my God
for
is
this.
right.
We're going to add some audio for this, because this is where Roy, a.k.a. Josh Wesley, shines. He finally gives a speech that's going to mobilize the entire Christian world. And he's on like a tractor or something.
He was on a scissor lift. It was some kind of lift thing. Or no, you're right. It was just like a weird tractor.
And we get a great montage. Well, first, it's just our crew listening to him, and then every time you see him, there's more people being added. There's up to 10 people by the end of this montage.
One of them was like at an outside, like little amphitheater type of situation, and we're panning that crowd. We're seeing everybody who showed up and really wants to hear that beautiful word of.
So if you want to be inspired, listen to a little bit of what Roy's got to say.
Created in the image of God, freed by Jesus Christ, and filled by the Holy Spirit. We don't need to fear anymore. We are children of the Most High, and we are created from the God that created heaven and earth. God gave us community, and from now on, we're not gonna give that right away anymore. We're gonna meet, we're gonna sing, and guess what? We're gonna get back our country. We're gonna get back our freedom, and we're gonna get back our lives.
That is just beautiful. It's right in my ear.
I just felt, Growth and I both fell to our knees and gave our life to Jesus Christ right after listening.
I mean, we've already given our life to Jesus Christ so many times. I just need Jesus all over me all the time.
Jesus got a double dip on us.
Jesus got the double dip. Oh, look, we signed his consent forms. Jesus can have his way.
Have you ever heard anyone more charismatic? It's like Martin Luther who? I mean,
it's a Ron Garvin promo. It's just so good. It hits you, and you're like, this is good. This is good.
Like, it's like like, how could we live in a world where anyone would want communism? After
Exactly.
hearing that,
You accept the government's word in your life. That's risky business, pal. Yeah. That's the only thing I was missing. And I will note, if you go back and listen to it again, just like a wrestler always falls on brother when they're losing grip on whatever they're trying to say, every fifth word that comes out of Roy's mouth is freedom. Because he loses track and he just goes freedom, and that gets the crowd amped up again.
Right.
Yeah.
So then we get a nice little montage of them burning DVDs, get this message out.
My goodness.
We get a nice... This is where the special effects supervising really went into... We see a map of the world, and we just see it countries lighting up red.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. I don't know if the entire world is becoming Christian. I don't know what's happening.
You might as well just given us a graph and showed a line without any understanding of the XY coordinates, because that's what's happening. There's just stuff lighting up.
Countries are lighting up.
Yep. And then we get... So everybody else is working really hard,
right.
except for Roy, who suddenly now is with Lila.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's like, wait, where did they meet? Have they been dating this whole time? Could Roy say, like, yeah, I'm going to go meet my girlfriend? Nothing. Just nothing.
But yeah, he's just hanging with her. He's an idea man. He lets the other people do the work.
Again, this movie's really fun, and I like this about this movie. They're like walking around forests and everything. They found like a abandoned building, and they're like, like this would be a good place to take engagement photos. So they're thinking about that's all Christians think about is like, where do we take our engagement photos?
Right. So we get another scene because we got to fill 90 minutes. So we get the scene. We meet a character named Dylan. We've never seen him, and we'll never see him again.
Okay, I want to point this out. Again, a movie where there's an oppressive, like fascist type government where the police are going after Christian, you would think there would be some tension in this movie. He's out doing his sermon and he's just nearly missing that, like the cops are just missing him. Something like that to add some a little emotional buildup. There is none of that. So when Josh is stepping back and thinking like, oh, I really need to get people amped up, his thing to do is have a knock at the door jump scare. That's his thing.
He immediately goes, "Are you a traitor?" And like Hunter's like, "I've been working with you for like a year now.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?"
As far as we know, it's been at least a year.
But it's Dylan, who we don't know. We don't need to know because he's just here to tell this story and then disappear for the rest of the movie.
And this made me question so many things about the movie. So what's
he relates the story that several of his family members and three strangers were in their basement, like praying.
Okay.
And then the cops showed up. They took away his family and two of the three strangers. He's like, he pointed that out. He's like, I don't know why they left me and one of the strangers.
Yeah.
And
I thought what they were trying to say is they took all the women.
No, I think it was just random. I don't know.
I know he said they left me. They took my sister and they took my mom and then they took one of the strangers or two of the strangers, whatever.
Three.
So it was like, wait a minute. Are you trying to say they're just taking women? Is there going to be some weird thing where they're like forcing women to take the vaccine or something and then they're going to force them to have babies?
No, because Roy explains what's going to happen.
Yeah.
He's like, they're dead. But don't worry, because they're going to go to heaven, and it's going to be so much greater. Ice cream, all you can eat. Don't worry, like, it's okay.
Wait a minute, are you going into another Billy of Red Brown speech? There's going to be cotton candy!
That's where he got it from, yeah.
And
that it takes the weight off of Dylan's. He's like, well, unless they're dead, at least they're going to be in heaven.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I can accept they're dead now.
I love that Roy continues to go, you should probably not be here because the cops are probably have set you up to get me in my Christian underground church group.
He's Jesus part 2.
Yeah.
Everybody wants Roy.
So I think maybe what you need to do is leave and act like you don't know me. You may have a wire on you that you don't know about.
But I love, before he leaves, like, did you get the latest Christian DVDs? He's like, he's going through. I was like, well, you probably have this one. Do you have Christian After Dark? He's like, no, I haven't heard that one. Well, take it.
Oh, and don't worry, I'm gonna get you Hunter's new mixtape. He's been working on that bass acoustic so hard.
Now we're finally gonna meet the chief, because I don't think he's ever given a name in this movie, so we'll call him Chief.
Yeah, just the chief works.
Godless piece of shit. And he's giving his disgusting speech about how great the government is. They need our protection. We're going to get rid of these revolutionary Christians. That's this deadly old virus that's going to kill everyone on earth. The New World Order, wealth and prosperity, United Nations, united thoughts, united currency, all the MAGA shit that we know is the truth. And we know this guy's automatically evil because he's talking about uniting the world, which is evil.
Right. You can't unite the world. You can't do it.
So we're like, okay, he's a formidable villain. This is the Darth Vader.
Right. So this is where we get a good contrast because we have all that evil. So now we need to break it off with a lot of wholesomeness. And how do you... when I think wholesome, I think campfire.
Yeah.
Acoustic bass guitar. Rap rock. Nice bars about, Jesus.
Well, no, they start out slow. They do a little bit of the old traditional gospel song, "Amazing Grace,"
of course.
And Roy's got the acoustic. They got a little hibachi, a little fire going on.
Of course,
they got some new people. One person like, Roy, what about the police?
Yeah,
shouldn't we be out of here? Look, and they see some headlights.
There's headlights coming.
Maybe we should leave. I'm in the middle of a solo right now. I do not stop for anyone. Jesus wouldn't stop.
They will not silence our songs.
Ignore them. And he goes back to playing that song. And then the cops jump out. And he's like, I have to leave.
There's 15 cars surrounding them. Roy, this is again why it has to be Jesus. Because Roy does a move out of Mortal Kombat where he sinks into the ground, completely vanishes off the face of the earth, and we'll see later he pops up like on a hillside somewhere.
Right. So everybody the rest of his congregation kneel down, start praying.
After he has told them, do not run. They can't hurt you because you're protected by God.
Right.
And so, they're just
technically
there.
They weren't hurt. They were just arrested.
Yeah, this is true.
But we do get
we do know what happens when Christians get arrested, though.
We got it. They get thrown to the lions. We get a nice shot of a foot stomping out that little hibachi fire.
Yeah.
Doesn't stomp it out, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
And they get arrested. Roy escapes like always. Escapes to a hill, like you said. I could tell Josh was so proud of this scene because obviously they bought a drone.
Yep.
And they put attached a phone camera to it, and he's just with arms wide open. He's just experiencing the glory of heaven. He's just on his knees on this hill.
Oh man,
it was beautiful.
It hit hard. I felt that scene. I felt Jesus just flowing right into him.
So they rounded up all the Christians. The chief, he's talking to his goons. He's like, "How are we going to get these Christians? They're just meeting at random times at random places." And then the guy goes, "Well, we do have some software that can find these people."
Yeah.
That's cool. How did you get this data? Well, there might be a specialist that's working with them.
There's got to be some kind of specialist because they're beating our software. And we have Bill Gates and Tim Apple on our team. So there's a specialist. Sorry, everybody. That is straight from the movie.
Well, you needed a couple more uhs and likes.
I did. I really did.
Yeah.
But I don't want to...
Brevity.
Yeah,
brevity.
Exactly.
Because we got to get to this next scene, this beautiful metaphor that Josh wrote. The chief, it's like every cliche, like deep state, like room you could think of. No lighting. It's just the light of monitors.
Yup.
And he's got on the side of this room these like toy trains. Why would they be here? Right. Why would they be in his office? Does he have an office?
But again, great set dressing because they reveal that. And just like Josh's medal or Roy's medals that we'll learn about later, he's got these trains, and we're going to learn about them right now.
You see these? Aren't they beautiful?
Yes, they are. But why was I supposed to come?
Danger is often hidden in beauty. And these are dangerous.
I don't understand.
You see, these are antiques. These are the things that are made of history. These are what holds people's dreams. And these represent the Christians that I killed. Worst thing is, that there's a sort of spark starting in their heads. If that spark gains attention, then they're going to realize that the people are heavily oppressed, and it's seriously for their good and health that they will long for freedom and their rights.
We have to keep the people obedient. I have an idea. The people have to swear every day unto the Constitution. So they have to say that there is nothing better and glorious than our state.
That's good. Go talk to the Minister of Propaganda. Let's work out a plan. I think this will work.
I will.
And this is also where we learn another connection. What, do we learn this connection yet?
I don't
think so.
No.
Because I didn't. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So
we learn that Lucinda's like his right-hand woman.
That's
she's
true.
standing there because he's explaining to her the beauty of these trains.
Yeah.
That they represent the Christians that he's killed.
He starts it up by talking about how this is an antique. And antiques are historically necessary, and he's blabbing all over the place.
He's rambling.
He's rambling very hard. And then it starts adding up into, it's my gift to me for killing Christians. And it's like, wait a minute, what? How is it going here?
I don't know, but even Lucinda's mystified. She's like, I have an idea. Because he's like, how are we going to stop these Christians? I have an idea. Let's keep them obedient by making them recite our Constitution every day instead of their prayers. And he's like, that's brilliant.
That's so good. Let's do that. That's going to have them brainwashed tomorrow.
Lila is overhearing this because she's working there.
Well, yeah, like you said, this is an open office plan. So everybody,
Right.
you know,
It's communism.
There's
right.
no cubicles.
Right.
And that's why I'm against.
Every seat's ergonomic. It's horrible.
Man, they have the gelatin things for your wrists so you don't get the carpal tunnels.
Right. Awful. I hate this world.
The worst.
2025, don't come.
And if you do get the carpal tunnels, they pay for you to get the surgeries to have it
and they
rectified.
give you like 2 months off of work.
No, 2 months.
I know.
Talk about the efficiency going down the drain.
Freedom is all I got to say.
I need. Thank you, Roy. I need that freedom.
So she calls up Roy. Roy's like, hey, how you doing, Lila? I'm out there getting some ice cream. What are you doing? Because he doesn't have a job.
I love this. He's walking around on the streets, and they did find a building that was abandoned. So he's standing in front of that building while he takes a call. I wonder why. Because, again, this is supposed to be a communist world, and we finally see an abandoned building. And it looked fine.
It's going to get like demolished because it's a dangerous place.
Yeah.
But under communism.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it did have one sheet of paper over it, so it was dilapidated. There was rats everywhere. Anyways, so Roy takes out his phone, and he's wearing his mask because he has to obey, the COVID restrictions and everything in Germany. Like a good Christian boy, he's following the rules. Right. And he takes off his mask so he could talk on the phone. And I was like, oh, okay.
And she tells him about the new plan that they're going to force people to read the new Constitution every day.
Yeah. And he's, Roy, oh, that is such a great job. You've given us so much information. Thank you so much. And then we just go back to Roy's apartment.
Yeah, we get, if you're a Christian, this will hit you in the feels. Because Holly has finally decided, after much soul searching, to give her life over to Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior.
We have saved so many people with our podcast, turned people to the Word of God and everything, and we know this feeling. It's a great feeling, and Hannah's feeling it herself.
So we just get, and because, bear in mind, German is their native tongue.
Yes.
And they want to be serious about this because they are real Christians. So they do this in German where they do, I don't know, do Christians all do this when they become born agains? I don't know. Okay. So they go through the whole spiel.
Yep.
Hannah pulls out her Bible and she's reading some stuff, yada yada yada.
They're trading verses and everything. They do a couple, rap rock bars and all that. It's
right.
just how
it's basically, do you give your life over to Jesus Christ? Repeat after me.
Yep.
She does it, and then Hannah's like, you know what? I want to read my favorite Bible verse.
Yeah.
He did it like this. He did it like that. He did it with a wiffle ball bat. And then she just closes the book, and then we move on. And it's like, it's beautiful.
We got to crunch over these numbers again.
Right. It's like Griff and I every Thursday morning. We're crunching the fucking download numbers. The BIMs. We're counting the BIMs.
We are counting those BIMs. And oh my goodness, we say this every morning too. Every Thursday morning.
Right.
Our numbers in Asia are going bananas.
But not as much as Hannah and Roy's. 100,000 Christians in Asia, and they're godless creatures. So they're like, it's where the DVDs are working.
Yeah, they are doing real God's work, if you will.
Right. And then Hannah just grabs a stack of about 20 DVDs. Send these to Asia.
Oh, okay. I'll head out the door with the DVDs to send to our contact.
And then, like you said, we want some tension because we're relaxed now.
We're too relaxed.
That knock at the door, like
because
are you traitor?
Hunter's about to open the door, and then he gets the knock, which is a terrifying thing.
And lo and behold, it's Luke. Excuse me, Judas.
And
it's like, guys, I do not like what you're doing. I don't want blowback. I've been seen with you before. Can you please stop?
The cameras everywhere. They have spotted me with you, and I know I've been hearing the word of your Christian underground churches and services.
What's the problem? Just give up your faith. Join the New World Order. It's pretty fun. We can't have ice cream, but it's still pretty cool.
Right.
I don't want to be associated with you. I just stop.
It's really hurting my life because of you guys. They have made us recite the Constitution every day. And I'm sick of it. I don't want to do it. You're making my life miserable by having your service group.
And he just like, just stop, please. And then he just leaves.
Yeah. Just do the new things, okay? Adapt or die.
Now we get this beautiful scene. I bet this is torn from real life. I bet Roy did the exact same thing to his real life wife. I don't know what her real name is, but they're walking along like in a bombed out abandoned street or some shit, and he's just like, I have something I have to tell you. I'm a great speaker. That's my thing.
I do the sermon so well,
but like when I speak with girls, it gets so icky. I don't know what I have my sister, but you're different.
So let's just remind everybody, we don't know that they're like dating. There was one scene where they were hanging out, but they never like made it seem like they were romantically interested or anything. And so now this is coming completely out of nowhere.
This is the most awkward scene out of a movie full of awkward conversations.
So again, Roy has magnifying glasses for glass lenses. So we're doing close up of his face, and his eyes are like anime eyes. They're exploding because of his glasses. Like he needed to switch those out or just not wear them. But he's got to look like a cool hip guy. He always did have like his leather rider jacket on too.
Yeah. The movie poster, he looks so badass. He's like holding a mask, like
yeah. It's so good.
So he's like, I think I fell in love with you.
The pause on with you, as if he's going to be like...
Well, he does a nice little thing where there's wind blowing, and he pulls like a strand of her hair out of her face and puts it behind her ear.
Yep.
And he's like, I think I fall in love with you.
Oh my
and she's just ecstatic.
I was reminded, and this reminds me of what I was reminded of. In Death Wish 4 when Bronson buys the soccer ball.
Yeah.
It's a little tweet. He turned into Tweety Bird for this scene. That's
this
all.
relation will be hard, but Jesus will be in the center of it. And it will last.
Apparently something was happening where Lila had to leave for a while, and that's why it was going to be hard on the relationship.
Yeah, she had to go back to work. Somebody's got to bring in some bread.
No, work is 20 minutes away. It's like, what? I don't get any of
20
this.
minutes walk or 20-minute drive? See, there's so many questions.
It's walk. It's a walkable city. It's a communist city. They walk all over the place.
Oh, that's right.
Come
Cars
on.
were banned. You can't get an F-150 in this world.
You can't get an F-150, which is how Hunter ended up there. He drove his F-150, and they ripped him out of it.
He totally looks like a guy that would have an F-150.
He definitely does.
Yeah. So now Roy, he's declared his love for Lila, but I guess he wants a side piece because he's got something for Holly.
Yeah.
A very beautiful, tasteful crucifix necklace. And he's like, the scene opens and him like holding it up, looking at it, and like this is the light.
But he is really trying to stage this necklace. He's got it held in two hands for some reason, as if he's.
Well, it's a lot of strands.
There is 9 strands on this. It's not a simple necklace. 9 strands.
Yeah.
But hey, look, Holly's complicated, so it makes sense that she gets a complicated necklace.
Right. And it's got a little goth vibe to it. It's
it
like
does have
bridges.
Little thorns like Jesus' thorn hat. And so he, of course, has to show it to Hannah, and he's like, do you think that Holly would like this? I got it as a gift.
Oh, she would love it. Holly, come here. Holly comes out of her hacker closet. What can I do? Like, here's a gift for you. So then it's very symbolic. She's finally giving her life over to Jesus because she clung to that little goth choker.
She did.
Rips it off.
And, okay, I'm not going to lie. I'm getting a little bit of a lesbian vibe between her and Hannah.
No.
I don't think...
Jesus hates lesbians.
I know he does, but I feel like Roy accidentally filmed something a little candid. I think these two are a little into each other.
They're into Jesus.
Because Hannah's the one putting the necklace on her. She gets right up into her hair and, gets a good sniff of it and everything and says, Jesus is a bridge. Whispers it in her ear. That's how you get a Christian woman to bed. You whisper, Jesus is a bridge into her ear. That's it. That's game over.
Well, now we're going to find out what Lila has been up to. She had to go to work, and she's going through the Christian files again. Find something like important. She needs maybe the newest phone numbers for the Christians.
Why didn't they do like a zoom in on the name so we see like, oh, they're getting really close to, they got Luke or something, or they got Dominic or whatever that one guy, Dylan. Like, you can lead us, give us the breadcrumbs or something to see that they're getting closer. But no, she just doesn't. I must hide this, and so she's trying to hide it in her bag again. But Lucinda catches her this time,
takes her outside of that same one abandoned building that they film everything in front of.
Right.
And they have a little chat. And
right. Lucinda comes on hard. And she's just like, what was going on there? Why are you stuffing things in your bag? Are you stealing office supplies?
And it's like, yeah. No, I think it's something worse. But then she's like, I think you're one of those Christians. And then she does a 180. She's like, you know what? I hate my life. And then we learned that the chief is her father, even though he's American and she's German. I don't know.
So Lila stands straight up and tells her, I cannot lie to you. I am working for the Christians. I am a Christian. I'm a good Christian girl. Okay? A good Christian girl. And Lucinda's just like, I like you sticking your neck out for yourself. I'm going to tell you a truth about me. I hate my dad. And my dad's the chief.
Yeah. And she's like, you're every woman. Yeah. And she's just like, yes, I hate my life. I'm looking for answers. I don't know. Like, she's kind of, and then Lila, when a Christian hears that, they're like, really? Do you want to join us? I mean, and then she's like, I don't know. She just walks off. She's like conflicted.
Right. We didn't expect this to go this way. It went perfectly for Lila.
Right.
So now we got to go to another perfect scene. Setting up the live stream. This is Joshua Wesley's wheelhouse.
Right.
He's going to set up a live stream.
And it's perfect for this time of year because he recites from the Last Supper.
Right.
And so like perfect Germans, they're not wearing shoes inside. They got their socks on.
Uh-huh. He sets up he's got a pallet that he puts a blanket over and pillows behind it. Yeah. And then they're all sitting in front of it was very weird to me.
Yeah, well, I know. Germans like sitting on the floor, apparently.
Okay.
And they're doing a web communion.
I love this, too, because they literally go 3, 2, 1, start, and they just start right then.
Right. Well, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to give speeches. He just pointed it out.
But how does he get anybody into that channel? Like, he just starts it, and then he just starts. Like, people wouldn't have known. Like,
if you're a Christian, you know.
Oh, okay.
And they do the communion where he's just like, he pulls out some Pop Rocks. This represents my flesh. And they put Pop Rocks in their mouth. And then he pulls out some Coca-Cola. He goes, this represents my blood. And then we know you do not mix Pop Rocks with Coke.
You don't.
But when you believe in Jesus,
you can just drink it
nothing.
Right down.
It just flows down your throat like nothing. And that's we know that this is some real Christianity is real, Griff.
And
right?
like they're trying. I feel like they're trying to work Hunter into the whole sermon game too, because Roy, he's got the crowd fired up with the communion,
in the palm of his hand.
Oh yeah, and so he's like, "I'm going to give you over to Brother Hunter. He's going to lead you through a prayer of his own." And so Hunter steps up with the wiffle bat, and he takes a huge swing. Misses completely.
Like
it's like this time I had an F-150.
I like Jesus. Like really, in my opinion, you should like Jesus too. Yeah.
It's like he sacrificed.
Roy set him up, dude. It just elevates Roy's like sermon even more.
Yeah.
By sandbagging Hunter.
Right. It's the whole philosophy of I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm going for. When the hot chick hangs out with the ugly chick.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I was going for.
So it's like, this is what it's all about, guys. It's beautiful. We get a little message of Jesus. And now the chief, he's ready to fucking end this.
So we learned that the chief has a superior because he's talking on his phone.
Right.
And he's like, superior.
Biden, of course.
Oh, of course.
He's running the New World Order. Well, no, Hillary. What am I talking about?
It's Hillary. You know it's Hillary.
Biden killed.
Her and Soros. George Soros.
He's just counting his money in the background.
Yeah, Chief's like, I wish George Soros was on that train.
And he's getting chewed out because there's like, we can't find these guys. They're too good. We have no evidence. This group is so tight. No weaknesses. No weaknesses.
And before he can continue to just lament about how bad they are at their jobs, some guy interrupts him. Chief, got great news. And he's like, oh, never mind. We got good news. Bye. It's been like 8 days, and they're like freaking out over this. Anyways, we got to go to this good news. We got a guy on the inside.
Well, he's got some info you might want to hear. It's Luke, or should I say Judas? And he's like, I used to be one of those guys dancing on your nose. Very Griff-like kind of like metaphor. Like I was like, what the hell? And then he goes, he literally said, we're not making this line. Give me something reverse and I'll make you a deal. Implying, give me immunity and I'll sell out everybody. The chief's like, I'm in. Just tell me where these guys are at.
I want a bucket of ice cream every night. The creamiest ice cream.
I want you to feed it to me. I want to dance on your nose.
I want it to be moose tracks. Oh, man. So
now they know where our heroes are at.
Yep. They sound the
You
red.
think they'd move around like Zelensky is in real life.
Yeah.
But no, there's a confidence Jesus is going to protect them.
Exactly. They're just hanging out in their abandoned house. So they sound the red alert. And what we also learn here is there's no other B team, C team, D team. It's the people who are working the computers. They suit up and head out.
Yeah.
It's like he couldn't even get that many extras or just put them in a different room or something. No, the people get up from the laptops.
It's very communistic. You do everything, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Lila calls him to let him know she's worried, trying to get a hold of him.
We don't know if the phone call goes through. She should have prayed. Jesus is the greatest bridge.
So the cops show up at Roy's apartment. They start rifling through all the DVDs. Christian After Dark. I've heard this one. Throws it in the trash.
Right. They're all the contraband. They find the German code of conduct or whatever.
Yeah.
The Bible. They find the medals and hold them up for the camera so we can see that there was medals.
And we as Griff pointed out, one thing Roy knows how to do is skedaddle. Because
he does.
He just jumps out a window. We don't know what happened to Hannah or Hunter. They disappear from the
dead,
movie.
Yeah.
And this is where we're back to the beginning of the movie. Well, Roy just finds a car.
This is so perfect. You know, the old trope when you get into a car and the wires are just hanging, you spark them and it starts, or you lower the what's it called? The visor. The keys are in there.
Right.
We're taking this 10 steps into a further stupider direction. So he finds this car. It's a nice beater.
Yeah.
The headlights already knocked out of it and everything.
Well, we don't see that. This is some great continuity, Griff, because he grabs a rock, breaks the window, jumps in. Like you said, the keys are right on the dash.
On the dash.
And he just immediately runs into a car.
Yeah.
But I think that's continuity because obviously they bought this car for like $100 or something, some beater that was already busted up. So for continuity's sake, he runs into the car to make it look like that's where it got the damage because you see later on the whole front end's all fucked up.
So now we're back to him sitting with, they do the car chase scene again. We don't need to talk about it. He veers off road. He gets captured. We're in the interrogation room. And it's looking like he's really wearing the interrogator out. All of his talk about ice cream and the former laws and freedoms.
Have you ever heard anyone talk about religion? Yeah, it wears you out.
Yeah, he really does. And he kept bringing up the fact that, like, look, man, I'm telling you.
Look, man.
Look, man.
Look, man.
I'm telling you, you can date 14-year-olds. That's how it used to be. I'm trying to get it
if
back.
You're free. But he's not having it.
And
this guy's been brainwashed.
Chief, of course, is listening in on it, and he's like, I've heard enough of this, man. Wait, why? He doesn't have that accent at all. I've heard enough of this, man. Execute him.
So you think they could just kill him right there in their secret hideout? No.
They have to. What the? Joshua.
What the fudge?
Joshua, you're in the belly of the beast. Why are they taking you into the woods to do this? This makes no sense.
They drive him at least 20 minutes out away from this place. He's just praying. He's got his hands out. He's just chill. He's ready to go. He's like Jesus. He's ready to die to make the sacrifice.
Yep.
They take him out, take him to the woods, and then lo and behold, they make him kneel down.
Yep.
Look up. There's somebody holding a gun. It's Lucinda. We thought she was having second thoughts.
Right.
Did she? This is my interpretation. She betrayed them. She was always lying to Lila. She was always a communist scumbag. And so you can never trust her.
Communists are the greatest liars of all time.
Right.
That's a fact.
And then he's still praying. He's just like, serenity now, serenity now. And then you just hear a gunshot and it goes black.
Yeah. 2 gunshots.
And we get a nice shout out, special thanks to our Lord Jesus Christ. And we just saw a man being murdered, and then they have a blooper reel. A blooper reel like Jackie Chan would have at the end.
They had a blooper reel?
Yes! We see Josh trying to break the window of the car, and it's bouncing off.
Oh, so I got to go back and watch it. Yeah. See, as soon as we got to the credit to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, I hit pause, and I died laughing.
So who knows? We did not see anybody die. This could be setting up a sequel.
Yeah, this could be.
I hope it. It will be because this episode's going to be such a hit. Everyone's going to be talking about 2025, the world enslaved by a virus.
That's right. So, yeah, good Christian boys. We swore a lot in this episode. Yeah. We didn't do our best job as Christians, but we need Josh to do better. So it's to inspire him.
Right. He's our inspiration.
Will it be called 2026?
Yes, of course.
Okay, that makes sense.
So there you have it. That's your Easter present from us. You're welcome. Griff, after this there's so much philosophy, so much heady stuff going on. I think we need to dumb it down for next week.
Please.
We need something really dumb.
Yeah.
And I can't think of anything dumber than the movie we were going to do last month for March More Madness, but we decided, because we decided we're citizens of the world and we had to help the Ukrainian people by inspiring them with Red Dawn.
That's true.
I think we need to do Con Air next week. So everybody, get your peaches ready and enjoy some dumb Nicolas Cage next week and keep it warm.